I'll bring it around here. Just like this one. Oh, wait.
I know, I wouldn't go to work for that shit.
Welcome back to Beery Good Entertainment, everybody. This is episode 81, our Politics and Controversy episode. This is recorded May 2nd, and I'm here with my two excellent friends, Lola. Hi, Lola.
Your best friends.
Best friends.
Bestest friends. I know. I've never even been in the same room as y'all, but you're still my bestest friends. I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty darn good. I am also here with the man that I would never, ever disappoint in an IT situation because I've actually seen this man's face and I don't ever want to see him sad. Cybernaut, how are you? Somebody disappointed you in the IT way, didn't they?
Oh, it's constant disappointment. Disappointment.
Well, I think some people in our lives have been disappointed because today we're going to have to talk about a very sad controversy. Of course, we had to cover it. Absolutely had to cover it. COVID-19.
It shouldn't be a controversy.
Yeah, but we're not going to just be going over all the regular jokes. So don't turn us off just yet. We're actually going to be bringing some of the more personalized things to you guys. And don't forget that after the show, we actually have a little bit of a free-for-all chat going on. It's not going to be a formal thing. We're just going to sit around and, have some fun, drink some more beer. And with that, what beers are we all drinking?
Can I go first?
You go first.
Okay, because it's been breathing for a while and I don't want to breathe it so flat. I've had this one for a while, been waiting for a show. It's on one of the Game of Thrones. It's very hard for me to find the Game of Thrones. Oh. This is For the Throne. I don't even know what style this is. I hope it's something I like. I'm very particular. I don't know. I guess I'll find out. I can't read this close. Oh, it has Pinot Grigio. I'm probably not gonna like it. I don't like Pinot Grigio. I don't know. We'll see. I buy them all anyways, just so I can say I've had them. Well, maybe I'll like it. We'll see.
Oh,
that's a lot of head. That's too much head. I hope it's
not
contaminated. I hope it's not contaminated.
That's the title of your tape.
A lot of head. That's the memoir of a porn star. That's a porn star's memoir. A lot of head.
Too much head.
Yeah. Please.
It is a 9.5% golden ale.
It smells pretty good.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Lola, specifically because I have one Game of Thrones
Tastes
beer
like a
left.
sour. Mm-hmm.
I have one Game of Thrones beer left, and I should put that in the fridge tonight.
Yep. It tastes like a sour, basically.
I have My Watch Has Ended, which was, I think, the last Omegon one they did.
Oh, goodness.
I think I
Maple
remember that.
syrup and fenugreek.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's my style.
I still say nobody does maple syrup like the brewery.
The brewery's good. They're one of the best.
So is it a good one, Lola?
It's okay. You know, I have been in the mood for a lighter beer because I drank that heavier beer earlier and I just wasn't in the mood for it. So this may actually be what I needed. Maybe not what I knew I needed, but what I really needed.
Oh, nice. It looks nice. It actually does look, it's got that nice golden color to it and the nice fluffy white head. It doesn't smell sour, does it?
Not really. I mean, I hope it's not contaminated. Like I just said, it kind of tastes like a sour. So that could explain the big head if it's like fermented like that. I don't know. I haven't really tasted it properly because that was all head that I just tasted a minute ago.
Oddly enough, I don't see a lot of tasting notes online for it. I just noticed the Belgian. Oh, somebody says it's Belgian
white.
Strong Pale Ale.
It tastes like a Belgian white with a little bit of like citrus type thing going on. A little bit of sour. But yeah, I would say like a Belgian white, and that's okay. Maybe that means it doesn't have as many calories.
It might be. It might be alembic. That might be where you're getting the sour from.
Maybe.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. And that would explain the huge head if it was fermented like that, like wild yeast fermentation or whatever.
Awesome.
It's okay.
And I know I heard you sipping beer, Cy.
Oh, I'm going with the old standby. I got my Tiger.
Oh, Tiger's nice, though.
That's the Thai beer?
Yeah. Or Singapore.
Is it Thai? Singapore?
Taipei? I don't know.
What the producer and I call a Beery beer.
Born in Singapore.
Beery.
Born in Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a light, no nonsense beer. It's just beer. There's nothing particularly fantastic about it or particularly bad either. It's just beer.
Huh, cool.
No complexities.
Just beer.
Just beer.
Just like Cy.
And it's a
I
whopping.
had to say it. I'm sorry.
It's a whopping 5% too.
A whole 5%.
Yep.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'll be able to drink this whole beer and still be just fine. For now.
Might be able to even walk around a little bit.
That Game of Thrones beer though, it'll give it enough time for that one to chill down. That's an 8%.
I'm gonna try not to drink the whole thing. That's very important that I don't drink the whole thing.
Well, I have those great stoppers now, so
I've got a stopper.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
See?
I like your stopper. Your stopper has nice little bit on the top.
Oh, the nubbin. Yeah, the only beef I have with the silicone stoppers is they're too mushy on the top. Sometimes it's hard to get a good hold on there to get the thing back
true.
out.
They don't always grip that well. Now it's gripping really well on the Omegang because this is a huge bottle. But if I try to put it on like a regular 12 ounce or something, or even a 16 ounce, there's a gap.
Well, by request, Timothy on Twitter, I saw this in Safeway. Firestone's Fly Jack Hazy Pale Ale.
Interesting.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Because you asked for it, I bought it.
That is huge.
Well, it is 96. Now this is a nasty little bit of marketing by Firestone. This is 96 calories for a 12 ounce portion. This is a very large can.
Well, yeah, but that's actually pretty standard.
They all do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
but I mean they also have there are also 12 ounce 6 packs. But putting 96 calories on there is a little bit of a sneaky marketing tactic.
It's misleading. But still that's pretty good.
If it were 96 for the whole can, that would just
for the whole can. That'd be beautiful.
Be water.
No, that would be just too good to be true. Yeah,
it would. Ooh, nice head. Very, very pale. And it says it's supposed to be a hazy. It is a little hazy. Hazy straw yellow. And the head's really hanging in there. I'm kind of surprised the head's hanging in there. It's kind of got a medium aroma to it. You can smell the hops. You can smell the hops. They're like half piney, half citrusy. I think the flavor isn't much to talk about. I mean, this is supposedly for, they label this on the website as for adventurers. So this would be pretty good if you just hiked up a mountain.
Okay, I get that. Yeah, if you don't want anything too challenging to your tonsils. That's kind of how this is. It's pretty light, but that's actually what I wanted.
There's kind of a wash of hops, a watery, citrusy, and then just nothing.
Yeah.
So
nice clean lager.
Nice. But it's not a lager, it's pale ale. So people who appreciate ales are going to appreciate this. And I'm not sure I'd take this size of a can on a large hike, but
it'd be refreshing.
It would be refreshing.
What's the ABV on that?
I believe it is, and I have it right here in the notes. It's 4%.
4.
Oh, that's nothing.
4%. So
that's super session. Yeah.
So you could hike and drink that.
Oh yeah, I'd be down.
I'm just thinking this would be this size can be kind of awkward in a backpack, but I guess if you had like a side pocket, it'd be great.
Yeah.
I'll just store it with my 6-pack abs.
Oh.
Okay.
And I decided to drink this in my first place trophy mug.
Oh, what's that from?
I know Villa Verde Equestrian Center no longer exists, but its memory will live in my heart forever.
Oh, you rode horses there?
Yes,
That's
I did.
Cool. Okay.
It was a very, very pleasant place to learn how to ride horses.
Nice. Okay.
Thank you, Dorothy, for all the hours that you spent yelling at me.
Oh, she had to get you into shape.
I developed a beautiful seat.
I don't know what to say.
Horseback riders out there, they'll understand what I mean.
Is that like flat butt syndrome where you sit in an office chair for 8 hours a day and your butt gets flat? That's a real thing.
Is it really?
It's how you sit on the horse, isn't it?
Yeah, a seat is basically your posture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it's how much contact you have with the saddle and, how forward you're leaning and,
how well you sit in it.
How well you balance and move. And
well, with a lot of things, that's half the battle. I know violin relies greatly on your posture.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, geez, yes.
Have you been practicing?
Yeah, my arm. I've been practicing almost every day now for like weeks, and just like my upper arms from stretching properly, and then I have like a mark where the support rests on my chest now.
Oh no!
It takes a lot of effort to play the violin, and
I bet
I'm getting better at it. Getting better, but that's
all you can ask for.
Sai, you're right. It is. It can be very painful if you don't have the right posture going on.
Well, I mean, you have to really practice the posture as you would practice the violin, because the one affects the other. If you've got poor posture, you're not going to be bowing right.
Yeah. Yep. And I've seen many different methods of bowing as well. I know violin and fiddle are, kind of intertwined as terms go, but there are so many different ways of actually using the bow and the violin. But if you don't hold yourself, then practicing for more than like 5 minutes becomes like, interminable.
How long do you think it'll be before you're going to be chasing the elusive electric violin?
Oh, I have considered getting an electric violin only because I didn't necessarily want to upset people with my mistakes. But now that I'm kind of over the screeching hump, I'm happy. I'm happy with what I have. I'm happy with what I have.
Your neighbors are too. Hey, gosh, she's not screeching as much anymore.
Well, yeah, but there's other things you can do with an electric violin, like you can change the voicing on it, and that's, I mean, for some people that's the whole reason to get one.
Oh, that's true. You can do that. I don't know. I guess I'm just not into changing the sound of the violin as much because I'm far more into classical music.
Yeah.
And I can do much more with classical music with the violin I have.
Yeah, I tried to tempt my daughter back into picking her stringed instrument up by getting her an electric, and she just wasn't having it.
Oh, yeah.
She's 100% flute now.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's one thing I've learned is that a person needs to decide for themselves whether they're actually going to do a specific instrument or not, because if they're not into it, nobody else can make it comfortable for them, because only you yourself can say, okay, I'm going to get down and actually practice this instrument.
Yeah, it's going to affect your performance too. If you're just not into it, then you're just not going to be into it. And
it's going to be pretty lifeless. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, I have other beers, but I'm not going to start them until I finish this.
One beer at a time.
One beer at a time. I don't think I'm gonna double fist it today.
One beer at a time. Sorry to get out of my system.
My goodness.
I just realized watching the first part of the third season, Mackenzie Phillips is actually in the new One Day at a Time.
I haven't been watching them, but I heard that. What does she play?
She's the therapist. The one that leads the therapy sessions.
I'm so glad she's doing well. She wasn't doing so well, 20, 30 years ago. I'm sad about her brother. Remember her brother died?
Yeah.
That was sad.
It's good to see her though. And I just and it didn't dawn on me before. I mean, she's been in there in season 1 and 2, I think. And I just didn't notice. But I had just watched American Graffiti. Mm-hmm. And like a 13-year-old Mackenzie Phillips is in that. And then when I saw her on the new One Day at a Time, I was like, that's Mackenzie Phillips. And I went and looked it up, and sure enough, it was.
Is she Michelle Phillips's daughter, or John Phillips's daughter?
I don't know.
Now I have to look it up.
Could be, maybe.
I think so, but I'm not sure.
So how soon before we? My camera is. Come on.
Focus.
It doesn't. Talk to the hand.
Linda, it was the beer. You got the beer too close.
John Phillips is her father.
You got the beer too close to the camera. Now it's blurry. It happens to me.
How soon? There we go. Now it's back. So how soon before we see coronavirus in our shows? Are they gonna put that in there?
There's a show, I haven't watched it, but there's a show called All Rise, and the character's name is Lola. But I read that they're going to do a coronavirus episode that's going to be zoomed in. I don't know how they're going to do it. And Saturday Night Live's been doing at-home shows, and they've been doing a fabulous job.
Oh, yeah. Saturday Night Live. We all kind of expect them to be doing,
Well, Colbert's doing it.
Trevor Noah.
Well, but those are like news shows. I'm talking about like our sitcoms.
Well, even our news is like that now. Everybody's doing them from their house.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But I mean, like our sick, like One Day at a Time. Is it going to show up on One Day at a Time?
Well, like I said, All Rise. All Rise is
Yeah.
a drama. It's a courtroom drama, and they're supposed to do an episode like that. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's supposed to be zoomed in using Zoom. So.
Oh, using Zoom. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
if it's.
they do telecourt in some places where they just have a lot of people and the judge is remote, and so that's not an uncommon thing to do now.
No, it's not. And I know
So that may be how
in Corvallis they usually did telecommuting for telecourt for people who were actually in the jail. They didn't want to actually transfer them from the jail to the city courthouse. They just had them, telecourting from a separate room in the jail.
Why waste the gas? He ain't getting out.
I don't know if that's benefit. I don't know if that's beneficial or not. I don't know. I mean, there's something to be said for seeing the person.
That is true, because I remember the case. I remember the case where the woman showed up with no pants on. Yeah.
The judge or the
No,
Wow.
the defendant.
Plaintiff.
The defendant showed up with no pants on, and she had to explain to the judge that the security personnel had taken her clothes and only given her back her underwear and her shirt.
That's horrible. How humiliating.
Yeah, and the judge got really upset.
Good.
I bet.
They refused. Yeah, they had refused her menstrual stuff and sanitary napkins and everything. And
I honestly don't understand situations like that. I mean, even for a prisoner that's, being a jackass, that's just uncalled for.
Yeah, and I understand that, safety, not bringing them in, but for situations like that where it might take a judge seeing the person in person to know that there's a problem, I don't know. Are your rights kind of being stomped on there by not actually physically being in the court?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, there's not a whole lot we can do about it right now.
No, not really.
Well, and to what we were originally talking about, I think we're going to see very short seasons next year because, I mean, right now we're still getting stuff that's in the can.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody has resumed filming of anything just because, a television set or a movie set is just a petri dish of people in close quarters and,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Supernatural, huh?
And bad hygiene conditions.
Supernatural is in its last episodes, and it had to cut its season short, so it won't be able to play its finale until next year when they can film it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's got to be frustrating for everybody who practiced and rehearsed for those final few things. Then they have to go back and do it all over again.
I know, because think about it. Some of the crew, they may have already secured other jobs. Not that anybody's working right now, but they have to come back for the final episode next year, or it may be a different crew. They may have to get a different crew.
Yeah.
So it's putting a hold on everyone moving on. So that sucks for them. But I'm hoping maybe they can make a big thing out of it, like have a Q&A, and like a retrospective, make a really big thing out of the final episode. That would be nice.
Oh yeah. So I know that we've all heard from different people. I mean, my life hasn't really been impacted dramatically. I'm used to staying at home. I kind of like it. I'm in the leave me alone space. I'm frustrated by a few things, like, I can't go into a bank lobby. Yeah. I can't easily go. Today I ran into it. I cannot easily go into a restaurant and just get takeout orders. No. They all have signs now saying they don't want you to come in. They want you to order by phone or, by mobile, which I like normally if I'm prepared for it. If I'm doing a spur of the moment thing, it kind of throws me off because I don't necessarily have the ability to just chop and change, and be able to order on my phone. And I hate making phone calls. So, standing outside the restaurant and calling them, I'm more than likely to just pick up, go home.
Yeah.
I'll make something at home. But a lot of these things are they're irritating, but they're not bad.
Yeah.
Other people are having a rough time. Has it been difficult at any point for either of you?
Huh.
Well, okay.
I went okay, so I had to take the dog to the vet Tuesday for surgery.
Yeah.
And my rule of thumb is if I have to go out and contaminate myself, I'm going to contaminate myself every place that I need to contaminate myself before I come home and decontaminate myself. So I went to the store, and the Ralph's here. So last year, I think it was last year, California banned single-use bags.
Yeah.
So there's no single-use bag.
Okay.
And what they went to was basically you have your cloth bags or you have a more sturdier plastic bag. But I go to Ralph's and I go, you can't grab a cart out in the thing anymore, out in the parking lot and bring it up to the store because, hasn't been sanitized.
Because of COVID?
Yeah. So I'm parked way out in the back nine of the parking lot. I grab my bags. I walk all the way to the front of the store. And the guy who's there, that his job is to, let you in, make sure there's
He's a bouncer.
Yeah, he's not too many people in the store. Make sure your cart is sanitized. Basically, he's and there's only one way in and one way out, which compounded it because I parked at the other entrance on the other end. So I had to walk all the way across the parking lot with my bags. I get there and he's like, "Oh, you can't bring that into the store." And I was like, "Bring what into the store?" The bags. You can't bring the bags into the store.
So you have to buy new bags?
Your two choices are have them just put everything back in the cart loose and bag it, at your car, or buy 10 cents a bag for the sturdier plastic bags that I honestly don't need any more of those. No more, please. I have so many bags.
I know. We got a lot too.
And then, of course,
I ran into that too. I just started keeping the bags in the bike trailer, and I ran into the one-way thing. That didn't annoy me, but I didn't realize the aisles had become one way as well.
Yeah.
And ours too. It keeps throwing me off. I keep forgetting.
That now even that didn't irritate me. What irritated me was the passive aggressive way one of the customers had of telling me, like, she just turned around and snidely remarked, "Okay, wrong way, but whatever." And I was like, "What?" It was a few minutes later. Like a few minutes later, I looked down and go, "Oh my God, I'm going to die of shame. There are actually arrows on the floor showing me which way to go."
You didn't mean to do it. You didn't know. She shouldn't have been so snide. We were doing it on purpose.
Our Walmart actually has stickers at each end of the aisle. One says "Enter here" and the other says "Do not enter." But like when you're leaving the aisle, you come across the sign that says "Do not enter," and momentarily that's kind of confusing because I'm not supposed to go this way, but I can't go back that way. It's
I'm stuck.
There's no arrow. There's no arrow. It just says "Do not." One says "Enter here" and the other says "Do not enter," and it doesn't give you any direction. It's like, and then there's always the time where you need, I need a box of pasta, which is like right by the end cap in one of the aisles.
You have to go around and go.
Yeah, that's on the "Do not enter" side, so you have to go down one more aisle and across, and then you've got the people that are standing in the middle of the aisle trying to figure out, do I want this thing or that thing? And they're just smack dab in the middle of the aisle, and it's like, I'm supposed to keep 6 feet, and the aisle's only 2 feet wide, or 3 feet wide. I can't. Would you move along? Yeah,
I mean, the grocery store is a petri dish, no matter how you look at it.
well, I think the one way thing just made things worse. I really do.
Well, I fell right back on when I used to shop at Winco, which was a large scale facility. I fell back on park the cart in one area, go fetch my stuff, bring it back to the cart. That's the way I handle it.
Just leave the cart in the aisle.
Yeah, I left the cart in a tucked away by the deli, and I just started bringing everything to the cart, and it was so much nicer because I could let people know I was walking up on them by saying excuse me, and it either they would just kind of move back or they'd look really nervous, in which case I just go around a whole other aisle. I didn't want to make them upset with me because we don't even have masks yet. They're really hard to get.
Etsy.
Okay, we finally resorted to that. But
okay.
They're not necessarily easy. Like you have to order them.
Yeah.
But they're not just out there.
I mean you have to wait for them to come.
They're not like a pickup thing.
You can make your own. I mean, they're pretty easy to make.
Sewing. I am not sewing. I am.
You don't need to sew.
No.
Stitch witchery. You ever use that?
No.
Can you use an iron?
I don't have an iron. I'm not doing masks.
I never iron my clothes, and it shows.
Not making stuff. But until now, it hasn't really been an issue. But now people look nervous.
Well,
it's starting to get mandatory. It's still not mandatory here. Clint won't wear one. When we went to the grocery store about 2 weeks ago, I didn't wear one because I had been convinced I already had it. But I started to feel awkward because we ended up having to wait. I was waiting for him and standing by the buggy, and people were looking at me, and I started to feel uncomfortable. So this past time we went, I had a mask and I wore gloves. I felt ridiculous, but I understood why I had to do it.
How about you, Sai? Do you wear a mask when you're out?
Yeah, I have been pretty much since, I don't know, first week or so. And
yeah.
I don't go out much anymore. So, I mean, I never went out that much to begin with. But I don't necessarily wear gloves. I will from time to time, but gloves are kind of gloves don't really protect me.
See,
and they're not really protecting other people because you have transfer on gloves. So you touch a doorknob and you get something off the doorknob, and then you go touch something else, and then that something transfers. It's the same with your hands. At least I can wash my hands.
What doorknobs are you touching in the grocery store?
The handles on freezer sections. Things of that. I mean, other people have touched it as well. And
sometimes you have to turn an item around so you can see what's in it.
Yeah, that you may not end up buying, or
if you can't see the poundage on something, sometimes you have to move it. You just have no choice. You have to touch the item to see what's, whether you want it or not.
And just because someone's got gloves on doesn't mean those gloves aren't already contaminated with something.
Well,
so it's kind of a silly thing to me to put the gloves on and feel that you're safe because you've got gloves on.
I think it's safer. I think it's safer than not wearing gloves. I put the plastic gloves in my purse. I put them on right when I get up to the grocery store. I try not to touch a lot. I try to buy everything I touch. I messed up when I went like a week and a half ago when I was looking at the hair dye because I forgot, and I was pawing. This was when I wasn't wearing gloves. I was pawing them and putting them back because I just forgot. But last time I wore gloves, and I figure, I mean, that's safer because I don't touch a whole lot of stuff in the store. I do touch the buggy. I do touch the cart. So that is bad.
Generally, the carts are being sanitized when you walk in. If there should be, here they have, here there are two things. They have little stands with sanitizing wipes. You can do it yourself. Or they have somebody there who will sanitize the whole cart if you want. If you want, he will spray the whole thing for you.
They do that with all of them, I think.
They don't mind. Every time you walk in with a cart, either you sanitize, the parts of it you're going to touch, or you can have them do it for you.
I'll tell you who's really doing this right here is Costco. I'm just amazed at the organization and the policies that they've put in place to try and make everyone safe, not just their customers, but their workers as well.
What's so different? What's so different about Costco than you've seen in other places?
So all the carts are out of reach. You can't just roll up with a cart and go in the store. You have to get a cart from a person, and it has been sanitized before it ever comes to you. You don't go into the store until someone tells you to go into the store. So they have a counter, and they know how many people are in the store, and it's sufficiently low enough that you could many times walk down an entire aisle without encountering another customer. I mean, they're really limiting that number of people that are in there. They have an army of people that are just walking around, wiping down the freezer doors and any surfaces people touch. They're just constantly doing this. And I know they're expending a lot of time and labor and materials, because those wipes aren't free in doing that. But it's the only place that I've gone where I felt like, okay, if I had it, I didn't give it to anybody. And if somebody there had it, they didn't give it to me, because it's really just about not transmitting this stupid disease.
Mm-hmm. Especially since people are dying. I mean, I think at least 2 grocery store employees have died that I know of, and I don't want to contribute to that. I don't want anyone to die because they're ringing up my order.
They even go so far as like, so you stand in the line at the checkout. There's lines on the floor that show you what 6 feet look like, so you can stay 6 feet away from.
They don't do that at our store. They don't do that. Everyone's jammed in together.
Once a person has checked out and is gone, the cashier then wipes down the entire belt. They wipe down all the surfaces. They wipe down the card reader and the whole 9 yards, and then they motion you in, and then you just come in, you do your thing, and then they just repeat the process. It's crazy. I mean, it's like Howard Hughes crazy, but
I would say that's almost military.
It's the way it should be, though. It's really the way it should. If we want to stomp this thing out, and not really stomp it out, but push this back until we have a vaccine, this is how you're going to have to do it. We're just going to have to.
I agree. I think that's. I mean, it's very dramatic, but that is the best I've heard of yet. Our stores do take the 6 foot thing pretty seriously. Yeah. There are marks, and everybody here is very good about staying 6 feet away, asking permission to pass another person. People are just polite like that. A fair amount of people are wearing masks, but not everybody is. We're in a relatively low risk situation here in Coos Bay. In the whole of Coos County, there have been, I think, 15 cases, and all of them have been at the prison.
Yeah.
But those prison guards are going home every day.
Yeah, and spreading it out.
Yeah, those are the numbers that I'm really interested in seeing, is where people are coming in contact with other people and are becoming infected. Mm-hmm. I understand, prisons, yes. And I understand homes. If you bring it into your house, it's going to be spread in your house. But where else? I mean, there have to be like little hot spots that we could identify, and then maybe fine tune the procedures in those hot spots so that we don't have this transmission rate that we have. Mm-hmm. And granted, it's flattening out. It is getting lower, but it's still.
We're still up to 66,000 people dead. It's not getting lower fast enough.
Well, the calculations I made quite a few weeks back is I expected us to be pretty close to 1 million, if not over 1 million by Easter, and we didn't hit that. We just hit that a couple of days ago.
You mean infections?
Infections, yeah. People that totally in the U.S.
And here testing is very restricted. You have to have obvious signals that you have it before they will test you. There's no wide scale testing here. Now, as to the masks, I know that coronavirus is small enough to pass through the masks, but the actual study that was done tells me why the CDC changed their mind and decided to recommend people wear them anyway. Because when they did the study, they had people who were obviously infected wear no mask. Then they had them wear a mask, and they had them coughing and a petri dish, a ways away from them. And it seems the numbers actually do say that the petri dish was safer when people wore the cotton mask.
It keeps more in.
So it doesn't mean that you're going to be safer, but it means that other people are
everyone else
safer from you.
Yeah, you're really wearing it to protect other people.
Yeah.
It's really just simple physics. If you pass 100 mile an hour air through a piece of fabric, on the other side of that fabric, it's no longer going 100 miles an hour. It dampens and slows down that velocity with which it's coming out. Like when you sneeze, if you're wearing a mask, most of anything infectious is going to be encapsulated in a water molecule. And that's gonna hit the fabric, and it's just not gonna go anywhere. That's plain and simple. It's gonna help. It may not be perfect. It may not be as good as an N95 mask, but it's still gonna help.
There was still evidence of coronavirus on the outside of the mask. So the one thing that we really all have to remember is don't touch, and that's the hardest thing. Especially when you have a mask on, because you want to constantly touch it and arrange it, and then you're touch that just once, and if you have it on your fingers, then you're touching other things, and you're already part of the problem. That's the hardest thing, and I touch.
I'm always touching my face.
Well, it's why you see why you see a lot of lab professionals. They'll wear not just the mask, but they'll also wear a face shield.
Yes.
And the face shield isn't really there to protect them. It's to give them like a little bubble of awareness of, this is all sterile under here. Don't go sticking your finger in your nose, or you know what I mean? It's
and everybody at the deli in Safeway, in our Safeway, everybody at the deli was wearing those face shields.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
It's just it just reminds you not to go touching your face.
Yeah.
People have been really ingenuitive with that. People have been making face shields and using snorkel, like diver equipment. Even I've seen people in hospitals who work in hospitals using diving equipment. I mean, use what you got.
Yeah, that's true.
Jerry ordered us masks. They've got like a little filter in it, so they're pretty good. I need to wash it out. I haven't washed. After I used it, I put it back in the little pouch I have for it. I need to take it out and hand wash it.
Or just spray it down with alcohol. That also works too.
Just
at least it was, well, at least if it's 60% alcohol.
Yeah, 60%. 60%,
60%, and the final product is just fine.
And for God's sakes, don't use your valuable Smirnoff on that. Just
I was thinking, no.
One, it's not going to do anything, and two, that's alcohol abuse.
Yeah, I won't do that.
That's right. Clear it out in your throat. That's the only disinfectants that we should be ingesting at this point.
I'm kind of I peek in on the home distillers. Distillation in the United States is illegal unless you have the proper licensing and have gone through all the proper steps. But there is still quite a few people that have home distillation.
Make sure you're very careful when you're distilling your water.
Yeah, they're very careful with their YouTube. Well, some of them are very careful with their YouTube videos and such. But there's a lot of them. What they've been doing to give back to the community is they've been distilling hand sanitizer. Mm-hmm. They've been, because coming out of the still, you got 190 proof, and then you can proof that down to 60% and add the aloe vera and all that stuff. and they've just been giving that out to the communities that they live in because there just isn't enough of it to go around.
I love how
Yeah.
it all comes together.
Yeah, if you're actually at home and you're making your own, you need to make sure and start with at least 90%.
Yeah,
alcohol.
use the
Start with 90% and then add your aloe.
Yeah, use the the WHO guidelines. They have
Yeah.
if you just search for WHO and hand sanitizer, there's a formulation that they have in the exact quantities and proofs, and there's even calculators that have popped up online for, like, if you've got 80 proof alcohol, how much alcohol to aloe vera is this? And so, I mean, the resources are now out there, and I really love how these things have come online, you know, so quickly in the face of all this. I'm seeing more and more little like numbers displays of like tracking the virus and all this other thing. It's just people that are just, you know, they're interested in this, and then they decide, well, at some point it's not just interesting to me, but other people might be interested in this. So then they throw up a website that's got all the, you know, numbers breakdowns and ways to tweak the data and look at the data. And
which is cool when it's real data.
I was gonna say, make sure it's not that spam thing.
Oh yeah, well,
I have today come across at least 5 or 6 completely fake sites.
I hate that.
And also I came across Twitter accounts that were blatantly advertising cures.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, the scammers are out in forth. And the place I keep going back to, and I mentioned this in our chat, is the UCSF Grand Rounds. They do them once a week. I highly recommend them. It's these are people that are out in the field. This last one was very telling. They talked to a couple people in the palliative care industry, and they were, I mean, when your ICU and your ER is suddenly requesting people from the palliative care, you know, with palliative care specialties,
people who are
embedded on staff,
that's not good.
Yeah, you know something's going on. I mean, all these people that are like, "Oh, it's a hoax and it's fake." No, these people are out there in the field. I believe what they're saying.
No, I've heard from quite a few immune vulnerable people, including somebody from Twitter who is a cancer patient. And she literally said, as a cancer patient, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Rad therapy, radiation therapy, is really stressful, and biopsies have been canceled. She can't get any new biopsies right now for anything else that forms, because all those are still considered elective surgery.
Leukemia patients will routinely, well, not routinely, but as part of their treatment, will be nuked. They'll nuke their bone marrow and kill it off in the face of a transplant, so that they can put fresh, good bone marrow in. But you know, for 2 or 3 weeks, they're in complete isolation.
Yeah,
and even a regular cold will kill them, because they have basically
they basically have no immune system left.
Yeah. And it takes months to years for them to rebuild that immune system with the new bone marrow. So even, I mean, those people are at such great risk right now. And this thing, the one of the stats I learned today off of the UCSF Grand Rounds was, they did a study in a senior home, and they just went through and swabbed everybody in the home. And then they tracked them, and they continued to swab them, and they were finding as much as 6 days people that had no symptoms that were still testing positive. So you can be asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic for a matter of 6 days and spread this thing and not even know that you're spreading it, not even know you're sick. So that makes it even more dangerous.
I wonder how long you're spreading it after the symptoms abate. That would be interesting to know.
They're still trying to look at that, and they're still trying to lock down the what do you call it? The antibodies like what antibodies you produce, in response to this. And they're still trying to figure out if those antibodies are going to help you, fend it off a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year.
Yeah, temporary
Yeah,
immunity.
we don't even know if the people who are being retested afterwards, they're testing positive again. But we don't know if that's from an actual active virus or whether that's from dead virus particles. It's so hard to know. That it just takes time and consistent research to get that right.
And there is a ton of research going on, a ton.
But you need time. You need to see how the illness plays out over several months. And we haven't been in it several months. So they can't see the finish line. We haven't gone to the finish line yet.
Yeah, being patient for a vaccination is going to be key. Being patient enough to realize that, your favorite places probably aren't going to be opening up very soon.
Although of course here, everything's opening up Monday. It's going to be limited capacity, but still, I'm not happy about it. I know people are hurting, but...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's what I was just going to say. I know people are financially hurting, and I feel for them. I don't know what the solution is, but I'm not happy that almost everything's going to be opening. Not movie theaters, as far as I know. I don't know if salons are opening, but I know restaurants and retail stores are opening Monday.
Now, I've noticed that Prime is offering quite a few things that were meant to go into theaters and are now just going to go to Prime.
I
like that
South
idea.
by Southwest Film Festival. I need to remember to look through. I've watched 2 things on it so far. That's on Amazon. Everything that would have been playing at the South by South Film Festival. I watched 2. Huh?
I know they're still of all things considering the HackerCon in July. Is it July?
What a bad idea!
Oh no!
I'm sure most of the people at DEF CON are very conscientious. They've already had several major groups pull out and just say, you know what, we're just not coming. It doesn't matter if we have it or not. We're just not going to come.
I know, Lynn. I mean, the scale had an enormous amount of people that cut out of there. We were just barely on the edge of acceptability being there, and even at that point, people were starting to get really nervous.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure the Maritime Museum's shut down, and so is the Midway, and all that stuff I guarantee you is shut down.
I think all that is shut down.
Yeah,
Here I know bars will be the very last thing to open. I hope they're actually going to let us start returning our recyclables soon.
Oh, you haven't been able to do that?
I have a pile in my garage. I forgot to take a photo of it, but it is higher than the freezer.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you have to deliver we have recycle pickup here.
See, we do have recycling pickup, but we don't. We pay 10 cents per container. I'm getting my 10 cents per container back. That's my beer money.
Yeah, well, California's really persnickety about that. You get 10 cents. You get your deposit back on X number of things. It's kind of dirty.
Oregon is so much better about that.
Yeah, it's dirty pool here. I don't like it.
I understand the reason for shutting it down, but one, it's frustrating. But while it's frustrating to me, it must be sheer torture for people who depend on actually returning those. Like, that's the money that they earn.
Yeah, a lot of homeless people do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, think of it this way, Linda. You're going to have, basically an entire stimulus check.
Unfortunately, we can only return 144 containers at a time.
Yeah, no, that's the way it is in California.
I'm gonna be going to
Except
Safeway, Fred Meyer, Bayway, Bi-Mart, and the next day Safeway, Fred Mart.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, we don't have those kind of options though. Ours, I think, is like either 50 or 100 containers at a time, and we have a very limited number of places you can actually take those and get that deposit back. It's very annoying. Well, it's why I just throw it in the recycle bin out here and let the city take it.
You know, when aluminum in California causes cancer.
Well, yeah. Well, everything in California causes cancer.
Sorry.
Blackened chicken causes cancer.
I can't help it. The prop was a prop 65, 69.
I think it's 65.
The warning is on everything. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm surprised they don't stick it on your dog.
I was surprised to not see a prop 65 warning on the Maritime Museum. Right?
That's true.
We talked about that. The tritium vials and everything. Yeah. Glowing dark.
Walked through a place which obviously had like nuclear radiation.
Oh my god!
No prop 65 warning, and
no,
you know,
65 warning.
I'm actually surprised. I don't think they do it, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. Bullets contain lead, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if somebody went, "Oh, those contain lead." Prop 65 warning on the bullets.
On the back of the box.
Etch it on the bullet. Prop 65.
This bullet may cause cancer if ingested.
It may cure coronavirus. No,
cure coronavirus if ingested.
Wait, aren't you testing that? Having people put lead in them? Isn't that something you're looking into? I was just being sarcastic. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. It's sarcasm is good because our president knows all about sarcasm.
He doesn't. He's
not.
He's not astute enough to know how to be sarcastic. He wouldn't know.
Well, I know we asked more than one person about their experiences with COVID-19. I got a lot of people. Well, first, I actually started with just a series of "How are you feeling today?"
That's
over
good.
a period of days, and I would ask the same people, "How you doing? How you feeling?"
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time, the responses that came back to me had to do with headaches.
Yeah, I had a headache for a solid week.
People frequently dealt with headaches, boredom, and the attempt to distract themselves.
Yeah.
That was like the major thing. Then I moved on to, trying to a little fun. What's your latest COVID-19 adventure? I actually got more than one person saying that they don't usually go out, whether there's a lockdown or not. And a lot of people saying that they don't miss hugging because they hated it in the first place.
That's different. Okay.
There were a bunch of people say, yeah, I miss being able to just go out and just, hug people. Yeah, it feels awkward now to try to hug my friends.
You clearly interviewed all my friends because there's no hug zone here.
Hugs are awkward to me. I don't necessarily like being touched by strangers, but
yeah, a stranger, that would be odd. Stranger coming up, I'm gonna hug you. No, you're not.
First contacts, and a lot of people said they'd never shake hands again. Never again.
I never cared for the handshake either.
So. I don't like it either, but that's gonna be kind of weird. Like, I work for corporations, and if you're, meeting somebody in a corporate environment, it's you shake hands. That's what you do. I mean, I don't like it personally, but if you don't do it, it would probably look like you're, jilting the person somehow. Of course, now everything's different, so people may understand now.
Well, our producer was raised in that fashion. You were taught when you meet somebody, you shake their hand. That's the polite thing to do, and that was really ingrained. And I wonder how many people have that ingrained into their personality. The first thing you do is offer to shake their hand. That's from now on, that's going to be like a symbolism of ultimate trust. I trust you're not going to kill me with whatever you're carrying on your hand.
My mind goes directly to France and Italy. in this.
Yeah, because they kiss, but they haven't been allowed to do that in the last few months.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. I've always thought it was a bad practice anyway. So I'm
weird.
I'm not sad to see it go.
I don't want to kiss anyone I don't know. That's weird. I don't even want to. I mean, unless it's Clint, I'm like, no. When my mom was alive, I kiss her on the cheek, and that's about all. That's it.
Different cultural things, but now it's physical touch is going to take on such a different meaning for everyone.
I think it's going to be only people you live with, and I'm fine with that. That's the way it should be, anyways. If I don't live with you already, don't touch me.
I think if it's by request, you should not take offense if the person says no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely not.
Is that going to change the mindset of the mindset of handsy individuals?
I hope so.
Oh, that would actually be nice to actually if people get handsy and you really take offense to it, I hope that's perfectly all right, because taking serious offense to people who get handsy, because until now a lot of us have been taught just to it's just a joke, or
I'm a
I
hugger.
didn't mean it, or exactly, I'm just a hugger.
Yeah, that's not okay. Okay, Biden. Maybe he'll get less. Sorry. Biden, get your hands off my shoulders.
It'd be nice. It would be nice if that went away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it will, but maybe the people who actually do that will wind up in a little more trouble than they did before.
You said do
that.
You do that. I do that. I do that.
Well, even on MeWe, we asked, and my friend Michael actually had a really long post, which is in the show notes. I won't read it all out, but it's a lot of what we experienced initially. He was just frightened. Started opening doors with his elbow and keeping a distance from people, and then he started doing research on it, which is another thing that a lot of like-minded people have actually started doing. Once you realize I'm frightened, then your second thought should actually be, what is it I'm frightened of?
Yeah.
And finding out real information may actually make you feel better. Unfortunately, it made me a little more concerned.
And finding that real information, there are certain places you would think you could go to get that real information, but they're not the ones providing it.
Yeah.
And that really upsets me the most.
Yeah, Michael said going shopping with an FFP2 mask feels exhausted. You feel like you can't breathe. I felt exhausted. I felt last time I went shopping just a few days ago, I felt absolutely miserable. And normally I feel pretty okay after I finish shopping. First of the month, I just got paid, got a grocery cart full of groceries. I'm great. This time I was just like, oh God, I just want to go home. I just want to go home and lock the door and not see people. Mm-hmm. It's exhausting actually going out into public now. Mm-hmm. It's frightening and exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been that way.
It's even more so. I mean, I'm socially shy too. I've said for a while now that I have what do you call it when you don't want to go outside?
Howard Hughes.
Agoraphobia.
Thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it. I have pre-agoraphobia because I'm okay going to places I know, but if I'm somewhere, especially if I'm by myself where I'm not familiar, I start to have panic attacks. So I'm pre-agoraphobic.
I research every place, and thank you, Google. I research every place that I go. Like I go there on Google Maps and I look around and I check out the scenery and I know how to get there and I know how to park, and
that's helpful.
that's all, but that's there was a time in my life where I would just go to a city that I'd never been to, and I'd navigate with a piece of paper, and I don't know how that ever even worked. It's completely gone out of my mind. How I used to live without a GPS and without a preview of the space and where I would be going. Yeah,
I got lost a lot.
Well, I think I've always kind of been this way. It's just Google Street Views has made it easier for me to be the way that I really want to be, which is, I know I have a plan and I'm going to execute my plan, and this is how we're going to go about my plan. And if anything along that route changes, we're going to have to stop for a minute. We're going to have to make a new damn plan, because you just can't be out in the world without a plan.
You got to have a plan.
Gotta have a plan. That's a lot of times, somebody will invite me to something and it's like, maybe, but probably not, because I don't have a plan for that. And if given enough time, I can make a plan for it. Then I might be down for pretty much anything, but I gotta have a plan. That's just,
you gotta know where you're going, how you're gonna get back. Well, especially me never having a car. It's very important that I know how I'm getting there and how I'm getting back. I have to pre-plan all that.
Oh my God, all the things that our parents asked us is coming into play.
It's all true.
Know where you're going, know who's going to be there, and how you're getting home.
It's all true.
Your parents weren't wrong.
Oh, Mom, I'm so sorry. I never listened.
Oh, man, it took me till I was 25 till I realized my mom wasn't crazy.
And Mr. Producer, may I please have my next beer?
Oh, next beer. Oh, I have a keg.
You get your keg. I'm drinking the last of my old Rasputin that I still had here.
Oh, old Rasputin.
It's a good one. And I've still got the Game of Thrones. There's about half left in the bottle, so I'm like,
I have a very special one in honor of May 27th.
Okay.
Does anybody know what's happening May 27th?
Nope.
Oh no.
Well, our beloved SpaceX has passed their final parachute test, and on May 27th, they get to move the crew to the ISS. So on May 27th is the launch. So I got Trapdoors Tang.
Space Tang.
Space Tang. Even though I know it's not advertised Space Beer, but I saw Tang and I went, ooh, parachute test successful. I'm gonna get Tang.
And I would like to take just a moment of silence for my keg. Last pour, sadly.
Oh.
So I guess tomorrow I'll be going back down to the home brew mart to see if they've got any more kegs at half price.
Lucky. I haven't even okay, so Seven Devils is actually, like not able to sell all their stuff, I don't think. And a lot of their stuff is going into cans and they're trying to get rid of a lot of it. I still haven't gone down to see if I can get anything half price. And we don't have an actual keg, which is what I'd really like to invest in.
I'm okay. So I have the homebrew kegs, which are ball lock. I have I specifically went with torpedo kegs because they're a little thinner and a little taller, and they fit nice and they fit nicely into my fridge. Commercial
Trapdoors Tang actually smells like Tang.
Oh, I used to eat that, but I used to eat that with a spoon, like it's just the dry
it's super
Tang.
Orangey. It doesn't taste like Tang, but it's super orangey. It's a Northeast style hazy IPA. It's like really like thick haze, like can't see through it orange. It's all like it's like orange juicy beer.
Yeah. So for anyone out there that does want to go down to a local brewer and buy a keg, they use Sankey kegs, which is the commercial version of the keg. They're not quite as tall, but by the time you put the tap on it, it's taller, and they're wider. And I was so worried about the height that I measured everything and made sure that the adapter and all my fittings were going to fit on there when I got the keg home. And lo and behold, I got it home, and it wasn't the height that was the problem. It was just too big.
Yeah.
Around.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing a transfer from their keg to my keg so I could keep it in the fridge. So at least I know I have to do that now, so it's not that big of a deal. But
well, can you take your keg down?
No, they won't fill my keg. They
only have pre-filled ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I looked up the calories for the Throne. It took me a while to find For the Throne. I found it on Rate Beer. It's 285 calories per 12 ounces. Well, I know, but I'm trying to figure out how many ounces is this.
Well, it is 9%, so
I know.
That's either a 750 milliliter bottle or a 22 ounce bomber, and it looks like a 750.
No, it's a wine bottle size. It's the size of a wine bottle.
It looks like a 750.
It is. It's the size of a wine bottle.
So
you'll be doing push-ups from now until the middle of July.
No, she won't. I won't be, and I'm sure mine is probably.
Yes, bottle lifts. Bottle lifts count as calorie burners.
Yep. 12 ounce diminishing curls.
That's right.
Well, it actually gives milliliters too on the website. Let's see. I'm so not great at math. I used to be really good at math. Where did it go? Hold on. All right. 285 calories per 355 milliliters. So you said you think this is a 950 milliliter if it's the size of a wine bottle?
I think it's a 750. So it's probably double.
Too bad.
Yeah,
I didn't eat much for dinner.
Yeah, it's probably like 600 calories for the whole bottle.
That's not bad. I mean, considering it's my drinking for the night. Well, plus I have the
that little snack I took around.
I had the old Rasputin. All I ate for dinner, I ate 2 thin pork chops. That's all I ate for dinner.
Pork chops.
And so and that's probably not many calories. But I had the old Rasputin, which I haven't even finished yet. So actually, I'm feeling pretty good about this bottle.
Oh, after the old Rasputin, it's like a 9%er, isn't it? After the old Rasputin, I get feeling pretty good.
Let's see, old Rasputin. How many calories does that have?
Oh, that's a thick one too.
I know. Let's see. I'm on Rate Beer. They have calories. 270 calories per 355 milliliters. So it's actually close to the same.
Yeah.
And that's 12 ounces. So I've already had 270 calories from old Rasputin, which I haven't actually finished yet. So if I drank them both, it would be like,
Future calories.
Future calories, right. So we're gonna if I drank them all, it would be like 900 calories. Well, I probably won't drink all of it. I mean, I still got half left. Well, actually, and I've still got a little bit left in here, so I'm two-fisting it.
Do calories really count in a pandemic?
Yes, because we're not leaving. I'm not exercising. I don't know about y'all.
If we did not have we have a hill right near us, and there's nobody out. We go out and we do like 3 times around the hill. It's a really steep hill.
Good.
And if we didn't do that, I would go insane because I do need some physical activity. Absolutely. Otherwise, I would start getting depressed.
It is. It started to affect me. I'm like, ugh.
But I
Yeah,
wish I
I-
could go. I wish I could go exploring, but I just can't take the chance that, I know, going directly to Safeway, coming back home, that's okay. Going directly to liquor store, coming back home, that's okay.
Yeah.
Wandering around a neighborhood I've never been in, that's just an unacceptable risk for me to take, maybe spreading something to other people.
Plus, people be looking out the window going, "Who's this lady bringing her coronavirus into our neighborhood?" You just don't want to cause pressure on other people.
Well, I know I told you guys in chat about my what do you call it? My area of research right now. And it's this weird thing that's going on where, I'm up and down all day. I'm not just sitting in my chair. I'm up walking around. I'm going back and forth to the refrigerator, and I'm gaining weight. And I'm trying to figure out, why am I gaining weight when my keg in the refrigerator is constantly losing weight, and it's not doing anything. It has no exercise.
Ha ha ha! Yeah, it's a head scratcher.
It's the big head scratcher. And now it appears my keg is dead. It has died. It lost so much weight. It is dead. Yeah. And now I'm going to have to go get a new one and continue my research.
That is the only solution. You got to bring that keg back to life, man.
Well, I have a theory. If you eat or drinking something slow enough, you won't gain weight, because just being will dissipate the calories before they have a chance to stick.
Well, you're burning calories just sitting in the chair,
Right.
Here's my recommended therapy. Oral beer injections.
Works with me.
You know what? We need to get a group together. And a control group. I'm going to volunteer for the actual group to get that. I know it's going to have to be double blind, but I'm probably going to know if I'm in the control group, because there's going to be certain effects that aren't going to be noticed.
Now, in all seriousness, I know you did a couple of interviews this week, didn't you, Lola?
Yeah, I did one today. I interviewed a musician named David Tyberg, Tyberg. He lives in Atlanta. He used to be in an awesome steampunk band called The Extraordinary Contraptions, but he indicated that former band, so I guess they're not together anymore. But he did a solo album, and he's been really affected by this time, because most of his income came from playing. He would do the convention route. He would play in small venues, large venues, coffee houses. He made the point he would play wherever they could stick him. If somebody could stick him somewhere, he'd play. And he's lost that. I mean, he still has a band camp.
I never even thought of that. All the bands that regularly do the pubs,
or even buskers. I mean, people out on the streets there's no traffic.
Yeah, he was not even allowed to. He busked at the subway, MARTA. He busks. Yeah, he would busk at the subway at the MARTA. It's called the MARTA in Atlanta. He would busk there, and he's lost that. The only thing he still has, he has a band camp. I bought his solo album last night on Bandcamp. And I found some T-shirts for his former group, The Extraordinary Contraptions. I ordered a T-shirt from them. So there's still that. But other than that, I mean, he's just at home. And he said that he wants to take the time to write more music and practice, but he's having a hard time getting motivated. Probably because he's staying indoors too much, I would imagine.
I gotta say, that's definitely something that's affecting me, because I've been home all day, all night. I'm in the same place all the time, and there's things I probably should be working on, but I just can't find the motivation to actually get up off my butt and do, or I'm missing a vital piece. Like there's like a shelf system I want to build, but I don't have any lumber, and I don't want to go to Home Depot to get the lumber. So that ain't going to happen. So
yeah, that is a very common complaint.
Yeah,
I've heard from more than one, especially more than one writer. I've experienced that myself. Like I have a book, and the editor is giving me back material, and I keep looking at material and going, I don't do that later. I don't feel like doing it.
I don't feel like doing it
now.
yet.
I have a headache. I don't feel right. I'm uncomfortable. I'm uninspired. And I see other writers. Today I saw somebody on Twitter. Sorry, Jim. Should I write or should I just browse Twitter mindlessly?
Yeah.
So I said, you should write about browsing Twitter mindlessly.
In my defense, I do browse a lot of stuff, but it's all in the service of many podcasts. So I've been trying to find people to interview, and like I spent a good hour and a half looking up stuff about David Tybert last night. So it's all in the service of my new enterprise. So I'm not just
but it's hard. Like the more we sit and like we don't seem to have the same schedule, the same purpose, like the more listless we become and like the less we produce.
And every day seems the same.
We're languishing.
Exactly. We're languishing.
We are languishing. That's a good way to put it.
Inside, we may be keeping other people safe, but I understand people's frustration not being able to get the world back to normal.
Well, and that's something they were talking about. I've been watching a lot of CNN lately. They've been having the woman who's the president of the American Medical Association. She's also a psychiatrist. She's been on there a lot, and they were talking about how, you know, when they said when the dust settles, they expect to see a lot of PTSD from the hospital workers, and then just regular depression and stuff from us who's been sitting at home. So there are going to be a lot of different disorders going on by the time we really can stop and think about it.
And I've been doing a lot to prevent my panic attacks, like enormous. Like I go to the store and like my percentage of, you know, possibility for having a panic attack is just like gone through the roof. Like I spend most of my time thinking about breathing.
Yep.
Like breathe in, breathe out, picking something, breathe in, breathe out. You know, don't get frightened of this. Don't be frightened of that. What am I thinking about? How am I feeling? It becomes this whole internalized thing where just don't want to be out here anymore.
I feel vulnerable. I feel naked. Like when I'm out in the grocery store, if I pause and really think about it, I start to freak out. I'm like, it's so bright in here, and there are all these people. I just want to be home.
Yeah.
So that's that seems to be very. Sorry, Sai. Go ahead.
I kind of feel actually COVID case. I actually feel a bit like Tom Hanks in Castaway. I've got my own little set of rules of how my day is going to go, and
that's good.
You know, that was a really sad movie if you really think about it.
It was very sad.
His dilemma with the tree on the cliff was, and yeah, I feel like there's probably a lot of people out there that are like, you know, they're feeling cut off and they're feeling like nothing matters, and it matters. It's on hold for a year. Okay, everything will be fine in a year or two. We'll be fine.
The beach will still be there. One of the things I keep thinking when I see people crowding the beach and complaining they can't go to the beach will still be there unless we have a massive hurricane. The beach will still be there. You'll still be there. Just relax. Everything. This is 1 year out of however many you get. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I do understand people's frustration, people who want to get back to normal.
Yeah.
There is a point at which it becomes unacceptable to say what you are saying.
Yeah.
And that occurred at
Are you talking about Michigan or Illinois?
At the Illinois. Yeah, at the Illinois lockdown protest, when I saw people carrying actual Nazi signs, and I'm not talking about things that, you know, could be maybe construed. No, this contained a Nazi slogan on a sign And they have a Jewish governor.
The Illinois neo-Nazis are not a fake thing. I mean, we saw them in Blues Brothers.
That's crazy.
They're real. They're there and they're real, and it is disturbing, but surprisingly, they get more news than they have members. I mean, they really don't have a lot of members.
That's good.
But they're just really a loud minority in Illinois. And Illinois, by the way, Illinois' numbers suck. I watched a couple of the governor from Illinois. I watched a couple of his conferences. Their numbers are as bad as California's, and they have only a third of the population. It's scary. I'm glad I'm not in Illinois anymore.
No, I haven't seen the numbers on the prevalence of groupings such as are old age homes and senior centers the biggest number groups? Do you know? Or are we actually protecting our seniors, or are these the giant numbers?
I can only speak to San Diego, and from what I see in the age groupings in San Diego, it's not in our senior centers. It's primarily 30 to 50 is where but there's also quite a few 20-year-olds that are contracting this. So, I mean, it's kind of all walks of life, but it's really centered up on the 30 to 50 age group. It's more likely to be lethal if you're 50 or above, just because, as you get older, you get underlying medical conditions that will contribute to complications in contracting this. So really, you just don't want the thing. That's really what the bottom line is. You just don't want. It doesn't matter if you're 3 to 90. You don't want the thing.
No. I don't think any of us actually wants it. I mean, it's gone far beyond Sweden. Is it Sweden? Herd immunity?
Yeah, Sweden decided that they were.
Sweden said that they were going to protect their elderly, but other than that, they were going to go for herd immunity. And people are being fairly good about, like being socially distant. But I don't know how true that is because I'm not there.
Something I learned from the UCSF Grand Rounds, I keep mentioning them. Measles has a herd immunity of 96%. So you need 96% of the people to either be to have had measles or be inoculated against measles in order for herd immunity to work. Yeah. And we don't know what that number is for COVID-19, but COVID-19 is far more transmissible than measles is. So
and we don't actually know yet if we can get herd immunity because there is a possibility it's reinfecting.
Yeah, we have no idea if you gain immunity by having had it once, and we have no idea. I mean, there's a lot of specialists out there like, well, I really feel like, your body's going to make antibodies, and that's going to be what protects you. But there's no consensus or study or not enough information to know how long that immunity is going to last. Yeah. It could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years, it could be a lifetime, but it could be none of those. I mean, we don't know. We don't have those answers. And without those answers, I think any action is dangerous. Not having those answers makes anything you do risky.
Yeah. So basically just hunker down in place and kind of wait it out.
Wait till we have some answers. Wait till we have some strategies. I know the government's been pushing testing, but the funny thing about testing is it's good for the test. Anything after the test, you could walk out of the testing facility and contract it.
Yeah.
And then be, spreading it around for 6 days, 7 days, a week, maybe if you're even asymptomatic, maybe even 2 weeks. And I mean, that test is only good up until you walk into the facility and get tested.
Take
and then
the test, and then anything after that you could have picked.
Yeah. So to me, that's not really a great strategy.
Well, I know one thing that has improved. We're seeing toilet paper back on our shelf.
Yeah, there was a lot of toilet paper when I was at the store last.
Oh,
is there toilet paper in Costco, Cy?
So okay, so there's 2 Costcos here. There's the regular people Costco, and then there's the business center Costco.
Mm-hmm.
The regular people center Costco, they when I went there last, they told me in the first hour we open, all the toilet paper goes out the door. It's just gone. The business center Costco, on the other hand, has toilet paper abounds, but it's different toilet paper. So you've got, your little, 6-pack of Charmin that comes in a little 100-foot roll of, 2-ply loveliness.
Yeah.
And then you've got the commercial version.
The giant rolls.
500-foot roll of industrial sandpaper.
Yeah.
That is plenty. I mean, their institutions aren't ordering it because no one's at the institution. Like I go to work, and that's what they use. They use the giant roll and in a double spooler, so they only have to change it like once a month. And
I don't know how our producer feels about it, but I don't mind the sandpaper.
Well, the Costco might be your choice if you don't mind buying, 5 miles worth of toilet paper at a time.
Well, if Costco were anywhere near me, I mean, I can't even return my old internet equipment because I don't have a car.
Costco. I'm kind of wondering how some things are gonna deal with that. Like,
don't even wonder. Spectrum. Thanks a lot, Spectrum. Their office was closed for how long? Mm-hmm. I walked 10 miles to go get there, saw the sign they were closed, came home. I called them up and they said, sorry, no, the office is open on these days. And we refuse to give you a way to mail your equipment in.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of organizations that are just completely falling down on this. Case in point, I haven't been to campus in I want to say 6 weeks now. Woo! Maybe 8 weeks. Hell, I don't even know. But
Beery, hey.
Well, no, I take that back. I have parked there. I did park there Tuesday because I had an outage I had to deal with, and it doesn't matter. I'm still paying my parking pass. No one's parking on campus, for God's sakes. And we're all still paying our parking pass. And apparently the only way to get out of that is to cut it in half, take a picture of it cut in half, and send it into the parking office, and they'll forgive your $90 a month for parking, which is outrageous to begin with. And then when they open things back up, I have to go to the parking office with all these other schlubs and get a new parking pass. I'm not doing that.
What they ought to do is put little trailers in the parking spots and have it be homeless shelters for now.
Oh,
well, that would work if they were willing to stay there. Unfortunately, that is one of the problems in Oregon that we're having is a lot of homeless citizens absolutely will not stay. You give them an entire motel room to themselves and say, please just stay here, only go out to the store. They won't do it.
That's what
their mindset is too uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
They don't. You know what? True story. A few years ago, people get BZs if they do something selfless at work, which is great. But every once in a while, somebody does something where I'm like, I kind of raise my eyebrows at it. So a few years ago, somebody won employee of the year because they stopped and cajoled a homeless person into getting in the car with them and going to a restaurant with them. And I didn't say anything because I knew it would be construed as me being critical. But my thought was, you forced a person to do something. They were obviously uncomfortable. This person probably hadn't been in a restaurant in years. And so you made them go in, and they probably were embarrassed because I'm sure they weren't dressed very well and they might not have had a bath in a while. I just saw all the wrong that was with it.
Yeah,
All the
that is very wrong. I mean, we I understand the dangers.
mm-hmm.
And offering homeless people a place to stay is a good idea. But there is going to be a point at which offering them a place to stay and requiring them to stay
that's not
is going
okay.
to become a prison camp, and then we're wandering into very dangerous territory. We're already in that territory with ICE.
Yeah.
We are so far into that territory with ICE right now, it is not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't proposition. We can try to impress upon people the dangers of them interacting with the public.
I love Andrew Cuomo so much. I watched his briefing today. He's just, oh God, he's so smart. But he was defending their decision to close the subway at night so they can disinfect. And people are criticizing him because that's where homeless people sleep. Some, not all, but some. And he said, well, we're trying to get alternate places for them to stay. And he said, I know that some won't come. No matter what we do, some won't come. But we're going to try to get as many as we can. So he was upfront that some people just don't want a place to stay. They don't. And it's a mentality thing. They don't. I think he said they don't trust people and they don't trust us. And it's gonna. And he actually said, this is an opportunity to build that trust with the homeless population. So I liked how he said that. He's so poetic. I don't know. Somebody might have written it for him. I don't know, but what he said was very poetic.
I agree in those words that this is an opportunity to build trust. Building trust with the homeless community is exceedingly difficult. Because if you have a home, you are so far removed from everything they are experiencing.
Right.
It takes somebody who has been in their shoes.
Right.
Somebody who's thought those thoughts, somebody who's felt those frustrations and been that upset. To really go and talk with them about their experiences. I've never been homeless. I don't know what it's like. And most people in the United States think because they have a home, they are higher on the social ladder than somebody who is homeless. Now, I feel very lucky. I feel very privileged. I am very privileged to have a home, have clothes. I can afford everything that I need to survive. That does not mean that I have more of a right to healthcare, clothes, home than somebody who is homeless. But I don't know how to do it.
I know. And there's just a thin line between us and the people who are homeless, because all it takes is a stroke of bad luck. I mean, I could lose my job. I could not be able to pay my mortgage, and I could lose my house, and there's homelessness.
Agreed.
It could happen. And the people who are homeless, they're not that different than we are. I mean, at one point they had jobs, they had homes. It's just something happened. Maybe a lot of little things happened, but there's not that much distance between us and them. And
we're all human
Right.
beings. We're all human beings. Period.
Yeah. And there are reasons why what happened. No, I'm sure they didn't choose it. They didn't say, know what? When I'm 50, I'm going to lose my job and I'm going to lose my home and I'm going to live under a bridge. I doubt they said that. Things happen. A lot of times it has to do with mental illness. And that's when it really becomes hard to get them to come out of the cold because there's mental illness there. And especially with people who are, say, schizophrenic, they're not going to trust you. And they don't want to be indoors. Sometimes they want to be outside. And that's, that's where it becomes more difficult. But it's important to try.
It is important for us to realize that there are going to be homeless individuals out there who don't have a place to go, and we can't judge them on that. Give them the space that they need.
Try to make sure they're okay.
Make sure they're okay. For goodness sake, it doesn't take me much if somebody wants a $7 freaking sandwich. Okay.
When I was coming back.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say one day, where I used to work, the old building wasn't far from a Taco Bell, and sometimes I would walk to Taco Bell on my lunch break. I was walking back, and there was a homeless guy under the bridge, and I took one of the burritos and I offered it to him, and he smiled and he shook his head, and I didn't try to make him take it. I didn't judge him for it. He probably has a bad stomach. I just smiled and said, okay. Oh, I think I said, do you want $1 or something? He said, no. But so I offered, but I also didn't get upset when he didn't take it because I'm sure there was a very good reason he didn't take my bean burrito, probably because it's from Taco Bell and he didn't have access to a bathroom. So, but I offered, and that's what matters. And, I wish I had something else I could have offered him. But at the same time, with that story I was talking about earlier, he doesn't know me.
Yeah.
For all he knows, I mean, there are cruel people out there. There are cruel people out there who toy with homeless people. So for all he knew, I could have put a blade or something in there and been like, hey, let's watch this homeless person eat this burrito with a blade in it. He doesn't know. He has to be vigilant. He can't take everything that's given to him. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know what I'm giving him.
That's very true. Homeless people are in no way required to feel indebted to us
or obligated to take what we give them.
No, all we can do is offer help when we can, not require them to take it, and realize they are the same human beings we are. That's
right. They're people. Their circumstances are different.
Yeah. Well, I notice, Lola, your hair is still brown.
Well, I ordered, I wish I'd had this idea a month ago. I feel so silly that it didn't occur to me till now. But I ordered it and it says it won't come in till probably the 11th.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what you're saying is we're going to have to do a special show just to show off your hair.
My sapphire hair.
Sapphire.
Yeah, when it comes, I'll put it on. And hopefully work doesn't call me back. They said we'll probably be at home at least till June 1st, and I hope they stick by that. I do not want them calling me back after I've dyed my hair blue.
You can just
so unhappy.
Wear a handkerchief.
You can just scoot, up north a wee bit and get your hair done in Georgia.
No, I'm not going to a hair salon in Georgia.
Oh God, no.
I'm not. Nope, I'm not going to do that. If I can't go to my hairdresser here, I'm not going anywhere. Hello, doggy.
I don't have a regular hairdresser anymore.
They would probably, there's not much work for them to do. They'd be like,
I have considered going, I have in the past 6 months, considered going into a barber for a shave. Like a real shave. Not like a shave I give myself in the shower, but like a real head shave. Is that like when they're open again? Is that even a good idea? I mean, I feel kind of dumb because I'm a woman. If I walk into a barber, are they going to
No.
look at me weird?
No, they're
I
they're
don't
just gonna
know.
be thankful for the business. That's the. But I've been self sufficient on my hair care for decades now. I learned how to do the barrack shave, and I own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I own 5 different shearing appliances.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
for
I have a safety razor, and I do like my safety razor. But Lola, doesn't it feel different
mm-hmm.
to go
Does feel
to?
nice.
It feels
It's
so
nice
different.
to get the care.
It's nice to feel special and
Yeah.
to get somebody else to do it. Like,
And she washes my hair.
yeah.
Now I don't like it when I hand over my credit card.
You know, I was now. I have to give a shout out to Selfie Salon. Although it's been a very long time, Julie and Selfie Salon in Corvallis, 100% was always kind to me. Did exactly what I asked her to. When I had my mohawk, she bleached it any number of times. She fixed the first screw up,
Uh-huh.
and bleached it correctly. And I always felt like when I walked in there, like she looked at me like she was happy to see me.
Yeah.
And I like it when I walk into a place and they're happy to see me. That's from coffee places to hair salons. That's why I go into a place. I'm actually more than happy to hand over my card at the end because I just want people to like be happy I'm there.
Hairdresser, she's so awesome. She's young. She's probably in her 20s, but she remembers everything about me. And I know she sees hundreds of people. She only sees me every 2 months, but she remembers, she remembered what happened with my mom. She remembers what TV shows I like. She remembers my boyfriend, and it's so special. I even told the people, the person at the counter, I said, she remembers everything. That's amazing considering how many people she talks to. And I want to do something for I sent her early on in the epidemic. I sent a care package with a Publix gift card and some of the makeup that I get from Ipsy because I don't need all of it, so I gave her some. But I don't know if she got that because she probably hasn't been working there, and I don't want to send any more if it's just going to sit in her chair. I want to be able to send her stuff now, but I'm trying not to be creepy. I sent a friend request to her on Facebook, but she hasn't responded. But she probably doesn't check Facebook that much, and she may not want her customers to be on her Facebook. I remember how
I agree. You can only go so far.
I mean, I can't pester her, so I have and I messaged the hair salon, and they never got back to me. But I mean, they're at home too. I can't expect too much. So I would like to be able to do more for her, but I can't think of a way without being intrusive.
That's true. Well, I think I've come to the end of the show notes, but are there any other personal stories that you guys can?
I'm gonna have to go right now. Hang on a minute.
Okay.
Well, my friend
hang on. Let me try that again. Sorry. I think we've come to the end of the notes, the show notes, but can you guys think of anything else that you would like to mention? Personal stories or coronavirus? Remember, we're going to have another show after this. We can talk about a lot of the news articles and such. Are there any other personal stories you'd like to mention?
Well, my friend Patricia said she had to put off her birthday celebration. I think she said she was going to have it at Disney or something. I don't remember where she said. She's going to have it somewhere.
Yeah, I know. People are putting off all kinds of stuff: birthdays, weddings, anniversaries. I hope she manages to get a different birthday celebration going on. I mean, some people are doing it online, which is fine for, like people like you and me who are comfortable online. But for people who are used to having stuff in person, it must be so difficult.
And see, that doesn't bother me because I'm like, yeah, I'm happy seeing people through Zoom or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chase said his nephew had to have his birthday party canceled. That sucks.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Poor little guy. He must, to be so little. He's little. He's like little, like, like the thought of a birthday party is like, woohoo!
So exciting. Oh my God, it's the best day of the year. Woo!
Yeah, your birthday, right? You're another whole year older. You get to do something you didn't get to do before, Maybe dad can give him dad or grandpa can give him a ride on a tractor, or he's
And it'll be
really into
memorable.
tractors. Yeah, that would be memorable. That'd be memorable.
It's gonna be a
really
small
into
party. Yeah, just be immediate family, but that's okay.
Poor little guy. He's
Oh, wow.
he's one of those. He's, I think, a little too young yet to realize why the birthday party has to be canceled. It's going to be difficult for him to to visualize. All he knows is that the party is canceled.
Is he young enough to where you could just not let him know it's his birthday?
No, he's gonna. Oh, he's
So,
6.
like,
He's 6. So he knows Santa Claus. He knows Santa Claus, and he knows when it's his birthday.
And he knows when his birthday was. I don't remember when someone didn't have to tell me it was my birthday. I don't know how old I was when I knew myself. Oh, my birthday's in October.
Oh God, I knew when I was 3.
You did?
I was reading.
Okay, see,
I was reading by then.
Okay.
I was reading. I knew how a calendar worked.
Oh, okay.
That's my
birthday.
That is.
I was born
all the presents
years ago.
That's when I get my presents and the chocolate cake. Mm-hmm. Definitely when
and
I
get a party. I get a party.
And every year on my birthday and at Christmas, I have asked for the same thing for years of my life. I've asked for
what was that?
I've asked for a pony.
Oh, did you ever get a pony?
I have not gotten a pony yet. Oh,
you want to see something?
However, I do need to thank my lovely mother for one thing. Okay, Mommy. You're halfway to fixing all the Easter bunnies you ate.
Oh, how is that?
She sent for Easter. She sent me those liqueur-filled chocolates.
Oh, those are good.
Which counts for another Easter bunny. Oh wait,
can you see that?
Oh look, it's you on a pony. Oh, that's a cute pony too.
It's not me.
It's not you?
No. It's like 1950s.
Really?
Black and white. Mm-hmm.
Is that your mom?
Yep, that's my mommy.
It looks like you.
I do look like my mommy.
You do. You totally look like her. That's really cute.
Yeah. Apparently this was the thing because someone else said that this happened. Apparently back then, a guy would come around with a horse and, the kids in the neighborhood would get to take a picture on it for 5 cents or whatever. So that's what that was.
No, they had that in Southern California too. That would come around about once a year. Somebody would come around the suburbs of West Covina with a pony. And he would just drive up and down and, people would stop him. He'd take the pony out. You get to, he'd lead you around a little bit and then you take a photo on the pony and the pony would just be like, okay.
Years again. What kid's on me now? This kid better not pee. The last kid peed.
when I was 14, I actually worked for somebody who did that.
Oh, it's awesome.
I had to wash all the ponies once a week,
Okay.
make sure all their inspect all their hooves and make sure there were no saddle sores, make sure their teeth were okay, shine all the equipment just before, and load up the whole trailer. And that was my job.
I think that's adorable. I think that it brings such joy to kids. I can't imagine. I don't think I ever had anything like that, but I would have been thrilled. I mean, that would have been just like the greatest thing in the world for a kid. I think that's cool.
I think it did actually stoke my interest in horses.
Okay, that makes sense.
I do still love horses to this day, although I'm there. I am way past actually competing, but I do still love horses. I wouldn't mind having a horse later on in life too. That'd be great. Be fantastic. I would love, when I have my own property, I'd love to be like a retirement home for a horse or two. That'd be great.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. Have a little farm. That would be awesome.
Have a front yard retirement pony.
I think that would be cool. Rather than them being sent to wherever they get sent, they should be adopted.
I think we've gone through pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think so. Should I talk about my antibody test?
Oh, yes.
Or do you want to wait?
No, please do. I'm gonna be right back. I will let you talk about that.
Okay. So they started letting the public order antibody tests. You have to pay for them, or at least I pay for them. I think you have to pay for them. So I went online to Quest and I ordered it, paid for it, made the appointment. And I was kind of upset because, I don't have a car. So I called a Lyft 15 minutes before my appointment. The first two people canceled, which I thought was crappy. I understand everyone's scared, but people need services like Lyft in order to go to doctor's appointments and labs. And if people are going to cherry pick what they take, then you're going to leave a lot of people without a way to their appointments, and that costs money. So anyways, I was not happy that two people canceled. Then the third person, you can see on the map where they're at, and he wasn't moving. And at this point, it was 1:33. My appointment was at 2. And even if he started moving, it would still take him 13 minutes to get there. I just didn't want to be late. So luckily, Clint was home. And I bribed him with Dunkin' Donuts in order to take me. I also gave him the $20 that I would have paid Lyft to take me there and back.
Good woman.
And yeah. So the actual, I had to make it worth his while because, he didn't have to do it. And the actual experience was fine. When I got there, the door was locked because they only allow 4 people in at a time. So another guy and I waited outside, and then they came a few minutes later and opened the door, and we both went to different kiosks and checked in. And almost immediately after I checked in, they called my name. I sat at the counter. The lady took my information, and then she told me to go back to room 2. I went back to room 2. She came in. I thanked her for, coming in every day and doing that. And she said, oh, it's no big deal. It's what we do, blah, blah, blah. And she took my blood, put the Band-Aid on me, and I was gone. I was done before my appointment started. I was done at 1:56, and my appointment had been at 2. So it was all really easy. And they said it could take 3 days to get results. When I woke up the next morning, I looked at my email, and it said, you have lab results ready. And so they were ready the next morning.
So they actually took blood from you.
Yeah, that's how they see the antibodies. It's in the blood.
Now, I've heard of drive-through tests.
No, that's to actually detect the virus.
Detect if you have it or not. Okay.
Right. That's for the virus. This is just the antibodies. This is the one anybody can do. They're not making you have a fever or anything. And they just started doing this. And you can get them done at pharmacies too. Like, do y'all have Walgreens or CVS?
No, I imagine that maybe Safeway and the
Okay.
pharmacy
Yeah.
might be able to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Safeway did contract with a full pharmacy so that they could give a full range of injections
Okay.
instead of just having the flu
Okay.
shot. All Safeways
Mhm.
can now give a full range of injections,
And
but
they may do it.
they might be
Yeah.
able to do it because they have full phlebotomists now.
Yeah, they probably can. This was an actual lab. Um, we have Quest and LabCorp. Do y'all have any of those?
We have Quest.
or LabCorp?
We have Quest
Okay,
Mobile.
that's what this was. Yeah, this was Quest. So I like them. And total with taxes was $126. But I justified it by saying,
Now, did you just pay that yourself, or was it like a deductible from your insurance?
I paid for the whole thing myself because it made it sound like I had to pay for it myself. They didn't ask for anything about insurance.
They didn't ask for insurance at all. Now I wonder if insurance covers the antibody test for anybody.
It's confusing because someone at Facebook told me to look into it. And when I go to my insurance, it says everything COVID-19 is covered, blah, blah, blah. But then somewhere else, it says not antibodies. It's very confusing, and it's a new test. And, I wasn't directed there by a physician. I did it on my own, and it came back negative. So I suspect they wouldn't pay for it. I just don't know. I'm just not sure.
And that is a serious, I believe that is a serious problem with our healthcare system right there.
Yeah.
I've heard that so many times, the words, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no way to easily get an answer.
Mm-hmm.
That is an enormous failing in the American healthcare system that we really need to fix. People need to be able to know what is covered, what is not, and to be able to get an answer within a reasonable time period. You should not have to sit on a phone for 5 hours.
I know.
In order to get an answer to, is this covered? Or to change my address, or, blah, 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 blah. It's ridiculous. Really is. You should have known. And this craziness about it's cheaper if you pay for it yourself rather than having the insurance pay for it.
No, I don't think so.
That does happen. I've confirmed.
Yeah.
There are,
well, especially if you have a deductible.
There are times when they will charge the insurance far more than they'll just charge you if they think you have no insurance.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you get a lower price.
You get a lower price, and then they'll charge the insurance up to thousands of dollars more.
And the consumer ends up paying that because they jack up the premiums every year for insurance. So it trickles down to us. It's very frustrating. Or you hear about Medicare being defrauded, people sending in false claims, like doctors and stuff, and they send in false claims and they rip off Medicare. And that just makes me sick because that's...
Well, our healthcare system is broken. It's really broken. We need to fix it. People deserve to know what they're paying for and what they would be paying if they didn't have insurance.
And bills need to be itemized. People, they don't realize what they're being charged for. They get these bills and they're like, what is this? What all am I paying for? And there's no way to know. They don't tell you what you're paying for.
Yeah. My last issue is blah. Okay, I'm going to look at the notes so that I don't sound like an idiot.
Okay.
Where did it go?
Oh, another thing I'm having to deal with, my temporary crown finally fell out and it hurts.
Oh, yeah, dentist.
It's the whole back part. Yeah, it's the whole back part of my teeth. I've got 2 little scraggly teeth and a gaping hole.
Now your dentists are reopening, aren't they?
I think Monday. Clint said Monday, so I'm probably going to have to call them. because it hurts. It's rubbing against
Yeah.
my cheek because it's a little scraggly little teeth because it's where my bridge used to be.
Yeah.
He took out the bridge and he's making crowns for them. So, and I was supposed, I'm sure they're already in the office. I have to go pick them up. I have to go get them put in.
But there again, I don't understand. Well, I kind of understand why dentists were considered dangerous, but honestly, could they not have figured out a way like only like 2 customers at a
per
time?
day.
Per day, per hour, or whatever at a time. Dentist,
it is
this is your mouth. We require our mouth to survive.
And when it hurts, it hurts. It ain't no joke. When you have toothaches, it freaking hurts.
Oh yes, I mean, it is horrible.
It's like, ugh. And I just feel this emptiness there. And oh my God, if I'm eating or drinking something and it's cold and it hits the socket, it's like,
oh yeah. Oh, now see, I'm very glad to be in the area I am, because I think dentists in my area are also going to be some of the next to be allowed to open again.
Good. I'm glad.
That'll provide a lot of people relief.
Yeah. Relief.
I'd rather have the dentists open before the retail opens.
I know. Dentist is more important.
I understand why the bars can't open.
Yeah.
I get it. I totally get it, because we drink and we become idiots. It is better if we become idiots at home.
Yeah. And you're in close proximity, especially in nightclubs. You're definitely in
there's got to be a safe way for dentists to open.
I would hope so. And I mean, they already wear masks. They already wear all that, and they have gloves.
I think our local post office just reopened.
Oh, good. I was wondering about that.
I'm not sure. I know they were closed. I did see the sign, and I read the sign at one point saying, they were closed for an indefinite period of time. I think they may have reopened by now. Of course, they were delivering mail the whole time. It was just the lobby that was the lobby that was closed. The mailboxes were open. But there was nobody there to actually send
clerks. Yeah. Being able to send packages is essential.
Yeah. Well, my last issue is that student loans are still having wages garnished by the U.S. government. Yeah, even though some people may have heard the CARES Act passed.
Yeah.
So they're not supposed to be garnishing wages.
I wish they wouldn't, not during this time.
But they are. People are still finding, that their wages are down by a significant amount. You're supposed to be left with at least $200, $210, $270 or something in your account after you've been paid. There are some people that are finding that they have $70 left in their account.
That's so sad.
And that's in our show notes. That story. I find that appalls me.
That feels heartless.
Now, if you're getting a stimulus check, the check itself is not subject to wage garnishment.
Good.
But what happens after you put it into the bank?
Oh, I hope. Well,
it's just money after you put it in the bank.
Yeah, nobody knows where it came from. Hopefully that can't be garnished.
Yeah, that can. Banks, they can garnish your account when it goes in there. So, somebody's got to do something about this. That is really awful.
I know. That's not cool. Yeah, people are already in a hole and you're digging them further in.
Yeah, especially at a point where people can't go back to work. Mm-hmm. And we don't want them going back to work in unessential positions.
Yeah, if it's not safe, especially if they have family members at home with them.
Hmm.
We don't want to put their family members in danger.
I mean, I personally don't think that McDonald's is an essential business.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
a lot of people don't agree with me, but you know.
I mean, it's just the lobby that's closed. I don't know. I mean, like since I don't have a car, if I just walked up to McDonald's, am I able to
No,
order? I don't know how
you
that
can't.
works. No?
Well, okay.
Mhm.
So it differs. It can differ by state and it can differ by county. Here,
Okay.
you cannot walk up. It's illegal to actually walk up to in the entire, I believe the entire state, it's illegal to walk up to a drive-through.
Okay.
You're kind of out of luck. Now,
Yeah.
there may be some lobbies that are open, and McDonald's does have an online ordering system for some places.
Okay.
And of course, we know Little Caesars has an online ordering system. There are a
Yeah.
lot of places that have online ordering systems, and a lot of places like like our Chinese place, which you can call in and they'll bring it out to you.
Well, in Little Caesars, they usually don't have drive-throughs, so
No, they
that's
don't.
not even a
But they
question.
do have the pizza portal, and you don't have to touch anything.
That
but
sounds
your pizza in
cool.
your box.
I like that. As someone who doesn't really like interaction,
Yeah, you just walk
I
up,
love
scan
that.
the code, and take your stuff and leave. And that's you don't even have to say hello if you don't want to. That's really
cool.
good.
Yeah, I like that. See, I was built for this. I think you're probably the same way. I'm like,
I like that. Yeah.
I was built for this no contact thing. It's fine with me.
But when I walk around for exercise, I don't like to see the same site over and over again.
Mhm.
So seeing the same hill over and over again is getting a little tiring.
Yeah.
I can deal with it.
Uh,
I might be bored, but boredom is not, boredom is not fatal.
mm-mm.
It'll
No.
be okay.
Yeah. I mean, this won't be forever.
Yes.
And you can listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook. I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Aha, Twitch is back. There we go.
Oh, what was wrong with Twitch? Was something wrong with it?
It's been a little odd for me on my computer. I've had a few times where it either won't open or it'll be so slow it won't do anything.
Oh, okay.
But we're getting towards here on the West Coast. It's 6:43 at night, so we're getting kind of in a prime time for Saturday. So I understand the ebb and flow, and that the internet's been packed recently.
Definitely.
This time, it's not our internet provider's fault.
Oh yeah. So tell me how the new service is doing. What did you get?
Douglas Fastnet is a fiber internet supporter and provider. And they came in. It took a while because they had to actually connect us to the line outside. They had to bring the line down because this place has never had fiber.
Oh, okay.
So they brought the line down to the whole building.
Okay.
Took a couple hours. It's okay. I don't mind. And rapid increase. Like
wow.
So uploads that had been taking like hours before were taking like 15 minutes maybe.
That's amazing.
Great.
That's
absolutely
so nice. Isn't that? That's
nice. I understand now that the internet is just packed. That speeds are going to reduce a bit. I'm not fussy about that. It's okay. I can handle the interruptions.
Yeah, high traffic. Yeah.
But they came in, they were polite. I call and I managed to get, a decent answer in a decent amount of time.
Good.
They're just Douglas Fastnet just happens to be made of really good people right now.
That's nice. That's good. Is it local?
Yeah, right now it's local in I believe near Coos County. I'm not sure of their exact spread. Down here, it's very local, like right down
That's
here.
probably why they're nice, because they're local. It's not
So
a
if
big
you're in Coos
corporation.
County, and you need an alternative to Spectrum, which I highly suspect everybody wants an alternative to Spectrum.
Yep.
Talking to Douglas Fastnet is the way to go, because they are looking to expand their reach here.
Okay. Good.
They really are. They're looking to expand their residential reach. They really want to provide it to, every home as much as they can.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I don't know of any alternatives. I mean, we've got Comcast, AT&T Uverse, which I don't even know if that's here or not. The satellite stuff. That's all I know of. I don't know. There may be more. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Douglas Fastnet for a while was only commercial, but now they're getting into residential, which makes that makes fiber accessible to a lot more people, and that's wonderful.
That's awesome. Okay.
I can't wait to get into my racing games now.
Oh, it's gonna be so fast. You're gonna be racing. That's how fast it's gonna be.
I'll be racing.
It's gonna be like speed racing. Whoa, look how fast I'm going. Woo, woo, woo. You can't see me. I'm invisible.
And if you've got a Logitech G29 wheel for sale, please do let me know. I am looking to get into it.
Okay. Is that really fast?
No, it's just the actual setup, the wheel. Because all I have right now is the regular controller.
And
it's really difficult with the controller.
Okay.
Because when I drive, I'm used to having a wheel.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to have one. Yeah, I'd like to have one of those, and then it'll make racing so much easier.
Zoom, 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 zoom. Crash!
Yet another hobby I've picked up, along the coronavirus trail.
Nothing wrong with it. We're all doing different stuff.
Oh my God, I'm traveling the Oregon Trail.
That's okay.
Okay, and that's the last time I'll be making that joke.
Well, when you're in Oregon, it's hard not to make that joke.
It is hard not to make that joke. Well, everybody, I think that's about it for this show, unless you can think of anything else.
I can't think of anything else.
I can't think of anything else either. There are beers still on the show note list, but don't worry, hang around, because coming up, it's the Mad Badger Inn.
All right.
Our new low-key show that, we just sit around and we chat about, what the bleep ever. Oh, let's see.
Si's on the phone.
Yeah, I think poor Si's dealing with issues.
Okay.
Well, guys, it's been really great drinking some beer and chatting about some coronavirus issues with you. We will be back again with Very Good Entertainment. Next time will be an entertainment episode or a beer episode. It really kind of depends. We'll see. We'll be flexible. Maybe an interview, maybe beer, maybe entertainment.
Who knows? We still got 2 weeks to think about it.
And don't forget that both of us are authors. We do have other interests, and you have a podcast of your own. So let us know, where can we find you?
Well, the podcast is searchable through pretty much anywhere you find podcasts. It's called The Larisy Conversations, Lariscy. I've had 4 episodes published so far, but I have 2 that I haven't edited yet. And then I have 2 more coming up to record this week. And also, of course, I have a website, lolarisy.com. And I'm on Twitter @lolarisy. And I'm on Facebook too, but I don't check that as much. So you can find me all over the place. And what about you, Linda?
You can find me on Twitter @Linda Tepler. You can also find me at sorceress0.com. That's SZERESS 0.com. I do have a book out called Hunchback. It's a lovely
It's
little
a great
it's a lovely little fantasy steampunk book and fantasy steampunk adventure book. And I am working on a fantasy book right now called Champions of Faloral. The ebook should be out by August, and I anticipate that the Audible version will be out by December.
Woo!
Yay! Give us a chat if you want to talk about beer. And you can talk to Beery Good Entertainment on Twitter at BeeryGE. I always forget the name. At BeeryGE. We are more than happy to talk about beer, about entertainment. We talk about makeup. We talk about hair. We talk about, like all
Food.
We talk about food.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't forget. We also do quarantine kitchen episodes with Cybernaut.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we are all into it, and we just love talking with you guys, with all you lovely, beautiful #beautiful humans out there.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you've had a good time here with us. We hope that you have a good night. You have a great beer, and join us again in a few minutes at the Mad Badger Inn.
What the woods? Yeah.